So let's carry on. Where did we get to? We've created the landing page for learnclaude.dev. We've created a new project in Firebase, and we've set up hosting, and we have built and deployed the code to this URL. I think the next thing we want to do, because we're going to go live and then stay live, is put it on my actual domain. So one domain. Let's go to this. Yes. Yes. Claude.dev, DNS. Cool. So this is where I bought the domain from. learnclaude.dev. In here we've got the DNS section, and when we use a custom domain in Firebase, it asks us to verify that we own the domain by uploading 2 text files. One for the www, so www.learnclaude.dev, and one for the top level domain. So in hosting, already in Firebase, click Learn Claude, click hosting, and then we're going to add the custom domain. learnclaude.dev. We will actually add a redirect to the other one. Okay, it's telling me I need to remove 2 records. I need to add 2 records. So let's go and remove this A record. That's there. Disable. And let's remove this other record. That gets removed automatically when you remove the A record, so that's gone. Okay, so let's add a TXT record. Add record, TXT, that's the value, that's the value, and this is the domain. You can put it in, but if you just leave it as @ it uses the top level domain, so I'm just going to leave it as @. All right, it's 1 record added. Let's add the A record. This actually directs the traffic to this IP address. So back in, A record points to, again, this is the preview, so I don't need to add anything in here. Successfully added. So we've added these 2, we've removed the existing records, and now I have to verify. This takes like 24 hours, or up to 24 hours. And it'll keep saying these records haven't been removed and these haven't been added. And you press verify, and that'll eventually change. No, one's been removed already. That's cool. And once it does get verified, it'll say minting certificate. to make it so it says HTTPS in the URL. So let's do the same thing. Learn Claude.dev. Going to redirect it to learn Claude.dev. And we're just going to add a CNAME which points a URL to another URL, whereas a record points a URL to an IP address. So if we come back in here, add a CNAME, point it to that. So this URL is actually the URL that we were given here. So this is Firebase's own URL. There you go. That one's usually much faster. Verify. Cool. So now we've got a custom domain, our domain. This is where it's actually going to live. Let's see if it's done anything. Yeah, it's going to take a while. That's fine. So if you click this, we can browse to it. You'll see it says it's not secure because we don't have the minted certificate yet, but we can continue anyway. I won't even let us continue anyway. It's a .dev domain, so it has to be on HTTPS as well. Okay, so we can't browse to it. That's okay, we'll just wait. So we've got the hosting, we've got the domain. Let's carry on. Building. So what do we actually want to build? Exit, because we made some new skills and they might not have loaded up. One of the skills, build a plan. So build plan, reads the memory file, looks at the build phases, finds the current phase, the first one not marked done, reads the memory architecture for relevant details, decompose it into small ordered steps. Each step should be completable in one session or less, have a clear done signal, builds, renders, passes a check, not depend on anything that hasn't been built yet, write the steps into memory current plan. Present the plan, show the user the numbered step list, get confirmation before starting. So that's what it's doing here. Is it? It's actually asking to read. For each step, state which step you're starting, do the work, verify it works, npm run build, visual checks, etc. Mark the step done, move to the next step, or stop the session if the session is full. Never skip ahead, never start, never step n+1 before step n is verified. Don't go to the next step. And then at the end of the session, update the current plan, update memory, commit if the user agrees. So save it to Git. So the rules are one step at a time, a closed loop. If a step reveals something unexpected, stop and discuss, don't power through. Steps can be revised mid-plan if the user agrees, update current plan when this happens. When a phase is fully done, archive the plan, delete current plan.md, Note completion in memory. Cool. So what is step 1? Firebase setup, layouts, course catalog, and lesson pages. What already exists? The landing page, the base layout, yeah. SDK, so we've got Firebase setup, no Firestore, no auth, no routing beyond index. Here's the plan I propose for phase 1. Firebase setup, layout, course catalog, and lesson pages. So add Firestore client module, create source lib Firestore with typed helpers to fetch courses and lessons from Firestore. So Firestore is the database. Seed Firestore with sample course data. Create a seed script to populate the database with 1 sample course plus 3 lessons. Okay, video, quiz, and a doc. So we have data to work with. Build the site layout. So the nav and a footer. Course catalog. Course details, lesson page. Verify full flow. Start the plan. Skills. This is a terrible commit, but I'm going to sync it anyway. So we are doing this on the main branch, but I'm not too fussed because there's no other changes. We've committed the existing code. So we'll see all of the changes in this git diff here. So everything that is going to get modified will show up. Let's allow all edits during this session. So I also need to make this asynchronous and also make the example videos about how this type of workflow scales productivity. So vertical scaling with just a human, which is getting better, adding more experience, having more knowledge, so you can do things faster. Having a collection of commands that you might store in Notepad that you use regularly. Having a bunch of bookmarks for docs and things like that. So that's one person getting better at their job, vertically scaling. And then we want the comparison, which is the same thing, but vertically scaling using AI. So just using Claude. Have that build up. So using Claude with skills, Claude with maybe with agents. I don't know if we can do that yet. If we've just got one agent, we could say we're still kind of vertically scaling. But once we get to the point that we have used a certain set of skills or a certain skill over and over again, and we've only ever said, yes, accept all edits, and we're happy with it, we've got the right harness around it, then we can move that into something autonomous. So instead of vertically, we can then put that next to us, which can run on its own, and then that can scale horizontally. So we can have multiple of them going all at the same time on YOLO mode, accept all edits. And as we build these skills up, use them till they're confident enough, then drop them down sideways, we can add more and more of these horizontal skills. And skills can then be turned into specific tasks by combining them together. making an agent use them. So we're going to need a code review agent, a testing agent, research agent, basically all different areas of a business. So I need to start building them. But building them quite early on as part of this process. Okay. Let's go read some docs. Creating new specialized AI subagents in Claude Code for task-specific workflows and improved context management. Subagents are specialized AI assistants that handle specific types of tasks. Each subagent runs in its own context window with a custom system prompt, specific tool access, and independent permissions. When Claude encounters a task that matches a subagent's description, it delegates to that subagent, which works independently and returns the results. If you need multiple agents working in parallel and communicating with each other, see agent teams instead. Subagents work in a single session. Agent teams coordinate across separate sessions. So everything's about preserving context and making sure that you're using the least possible context for the task. So otherwise it gets a bit lost and confused about what it's doing. I think it's quite a small context window as well. What is the Claude context window? Claude Code context window size 2,000. Yeah, 200,000 is tiny. Okay, cool. So subagents help you. Subagents help you preserve context by keeping exploration and implementation out of your main conversation. Enforce constraints by limiting which tools a subagent can use. So things like file, editing, searching, and using hooks to limit them. Reuse configurations across projects with user-level subagents. Okay. Specialized behavior with focused system prompts for specific domains. So that could be testing, it could be marketing, or whatever. Control costs by routing tasks to faster, cheaper models like Haiku. Cool. So step 1 is complete. So it's telling me what it's done. Key routing approach, static shells, plus, good God, static shells plus client-side Firestore fetching. Yeah. Firebase hosting rewrites. So courses / star to catch all pages. The client script parses the URL to determine whether to show course details or lesson content. To actually see live data, you'll need to run the seed script with Firestore credentials. Would you like to commit this work? Let's try it out first. Reauth. Get back into Firestore on the command line, accept, done. Let's run this script it's told us to run. Actually, I do wonder. Let's see what that script does first. Well, that's not used. So this is actually going to create a new collection called courses. Wait for it to be complete and then create a lesson for all the lessons, of which we've got 2 in this list. That's a lesson, that's a lesson. Oh no, I've got 3. So we've got 3 in the list. So we can either actually upload these to Firestore or use the local emulators. What do you think? I actually want to upload it to Firestore because I want to play with this. So go back to Firebase, Firestore. I don't think we need to do anything. I think that will just work. So we need to deploy it. Actually, I'm going to ask it to run the script in case it asks any questions. Okay, so I've got to log into Google and use the application default credentials which are applied to my user to then upload the seed data. Well, it's not ideal, but fine. Okay. Let's see what happens. Do this in the terminal. Auth login. Oh, auth. Application default login. Yeah. Yep. Let's run this again. So we've logged into Google, we've set the default project to the project that we're using for Learn Claude, and then we've run the script again. So it's now got permissions to upload what it needs to do. Although it doesn't look like it's doing it. Not found. Let's let this run and see. I can't be asked trying to figure it out. Yes. Well, that wasn't very good, but this feels so hacky. Oh, so I do have to make the Firestore database. I thought it would create it. Fine, create a database. Next. I'm going to put this in. Who's most likely to use it? I don't need multi-region. I just feel like Europe West 2 is full. Screw it. Let's just do somewhere in the middle. Europe Central, time on Europe Central though. No, I'm just gonna go London, whatever. Start in production mode. There we go, now we can make a collection. Perfect. Actually, npm run build. Firebase deploy. Let's go and see it live. npm run dev. Until Firestore is provisioned and seeded. Is it not provisioned and seeded? I think it is. I think it's the Firestore rules. Provisioned and seeded. To the courses. Following error. Yeah. In the console, let's go to the console. Yeah, so it's the rules. Now I wonder. Yeah, deploy the rules. So now I've got them locally for it to work, unless I use the emulator locally. I've got to actually deploy the rules to Firestore, and they'll go here. So what have we done? Public read. So yeah, you can read. Girl, you can read. Let's inspect that again. It's an index as well. Let's follow the link. Copy link address, browse to it. So it's building the index. Indexes. I've got seeded the data. We've added rules so it can be read. Now I'm building an index so it can be used. Building. Actually, whilst we're doing that, why don't we check the DNS? So we've got progress. The CNAME has been applied. That always happens first anyway. It says connected. And it's detected that a record has been removed, a record has been added. Let's just double check this to be sure. What is it done? DNS. Yeah, it's there. So we just gotta wait. Gots to wait. Fine, we shall wait. Let's look at the indexes again. Enabled. Cool. So this is the live site. Click courses. Well, there's 3 lessons inside this one course. Learning the fundamentals of Claude Code, installation, basic commands, and your first AI-assisted coding session. Let's see what's in there. Ah, course not found. Another index. Oh, we've indexed the courses, but not the lessons. Fine. But that's progress. Hands-on in real lab cloud environment. That's going to be exciting to make. Timed certs, prove what you know, share your certs, help get a job. I mean, that is that. So quizzes, curated links to the official docs, because the docs are great. We're just making it more accessible. Turning it all into videos to make it more consumable, because nobody reads books anymore, or docs in that, for that matter. No sign up required to start learning. Yeah, I want all this stuff to be free. This stuff, because it costs me money, I've got to charge it. Building index. Come on. Come on. Browse courses. Course not found. Yeah, so I want this to be literally giving away everything for free. So it's just a fantastic resource for learning. for myself, but also for people and also for businesses. Build a platform, help people. There we go. Look at that. Getting started with Claude Code. What is Claude? Oh my God. Transcript. Beautiful. Installation and setup. And even links to the Claude docs. That is great. This is a bit weird. But no, it's fine. Quick start quiz. A quiz going on. What is this? Cool. I think we'll finish it there then. Obviously the quiz. Okay. Remember to update your Claude.md with all learnings as you go to self-improve. Going to end this session, so complete any close down actions required. The seeded data works. I've created 2 indexes. Deployed the rules. Indexes are for courses and lessons. The quiz currently doesn't allows me to select options, but doesn't say a result or actually do anything. Let's leave it at that. So I've done some user feedback. Got to update it, prepare it for the next session. Then the next session we can come back in and do plan. It's just trying to close that loop, because at the moment I'm in the loop, which is great, but once we get to the point where we've got a structure, it's not just greenfield building, and we're sort of expanding out, then we want to make sure that the testing, everything's being done in a consistent way. Yeah. Yes. Why did you just do a get push? Okay. Get push. No, I didn't get push. Fine. All right. Until next time.